I've been called a compulsive harmonizer many times.
I like it, I like it. All right, well, if you have to break out in song, you just let me know.
Okay.
Welcome to both of you. You both know how the game is played. First player to buzz in with the correct answer and the correct spelling.
Stocks climbed as the government widened its efforts to keep General Motors out of bankruptcy by shoring up its finance arms. So we had an up day for GM and also for Ford. General Motors in the middle of a 22% decline in U.S. sales this year, and now is offering financing discounts, including no interest loans for as long as 5 years on some 2008 and 2009 models. And here's what we saw at the close. Stocks rallying with the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 184 points, the S&P up 21, and the NASDAQ up 40. Another part of the investing picture today, consumer confidence sank to the lowest level in at least 41 years this month as Americans grew more concerned about keeping their jobs and paying their mortgages, and also raising the risk that they will spend less next year. That's business at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Deborah Costrin with the Bloomberg After the Bell report.
In your money, the recession isn't drying up one business. Liquor sales are expected to increase by 4 to 5% in the coming year, according to industry experts. The increase doesn't mean that people are buying more shots at local bars. It means that more people are turning to liquor stores and are drinking at home. Treatment experts say that more people turn to alcohol or other substances when the economy goes south. Homeowners are paying more to heat their homes this winter after locking into prices that seemed like a bargain only a few months ago. Last summer, experts were predicting that rates could rise as high as $5 a gallon, and that prompted thousands of customers to lock in on a fixed rate and then watched in dismay as the price of oil plummeted as much as 50%. The current average for home heating oil, $2.41 a gallon. Many are looking for ways now to break their contracts, but some people say that they're just out of luck unless the contract doesn't comply with state regulations. Many businesses are dropping their landlines for cell phone service. Residential customers started the trend, and now 1 in 6 homes no longer have landline phones hooked in. Now businesses and some schools are doing away with landline phone service. Tax hurdles, though, keep more businesses from making the cellular switch. But now the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is supporting legislation to essentially make business cell phone usage easier. That is all in business. Elaine, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Nearly 100 burglaries in Schenectady, Albany, and Saratoga counties may be the work of 3 people. Kumi Tucker has all the details. That's coming up next on Live at 6.
Hi, we're here for Sign Then Drive.
Hi.
I just leased a Passat for no money down. She wants one too. Or a Jetta. A Passat. A Jetta. A Passat. A Jetta. A Passat.
Our new computer can match you to the perfect Volkswagen. Then you drive it away.
Signature reveals a need for safety and individuality. Perfect match.
A Passat.
Jetta.
This event is getting very interesting.
Sign Then Drive is back. For a limited time, we select 2009 models for 0 down, 0 due at signing, and no first month's payment.
It's what the people want.
This fiber, I'd had my fill. Then I found Miralax. Miralax relieves constipation with no bloating, no excess gas, no taste, no grit. You'll see, it's clearly different.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
I have high blood pressure, so when I get a cold, I take powerful cold medicine with the heart. Well, now there's new Quercetin HBP Nighttime for nighttime cold relief with the heart. From the only cold brand that won't raise your blood pressure, Quercetin HBP.
It only happens once a year. It's the New Year's sale at Bassett. Every Bassett bedroom, every Bassett dining room, our entire line of beautiful Bassett upholstery at the only place large enough to hold it. Huck Finn's Warehouse and more. What a way to start the year. Bassett furniture for every room, all at sale prices. Save store-wide and take advantage of special financing during the Bassett New Year's sale. Only at Bassett, only at Huck Finn's Warehouse and more.
Like never before.
Finally, at 5:30, people are putting their lives in their hands for a good cause. It was a soapbox derby in northern England. A half-mile stretch of road was closed so that people could hurl themselves down a hill in homemade contraptions. The only rule, the vehicles had to have 4 wheels and working brakes. Some reached speeds of 35 miles an hour. The event raised money for the British charity When You Wish Upon a Star. It's similar to the Make-A-Wish Foundation here in the U.S. And before we go, let's get a check of your forecast with meteorologist Bob Cavazzi.
All right, thanks, Elaine. We expect a little light snow to come in between midnight and 3 a.m. For tomorrow, some steady snow in the morning, diminishing to some lighter snow and flurries in the afternoon, although the flurries could very well linger into early tomorrow night, breezy and cold. Very cold tomorrow night, first day of the new year, 18 and 5. With some wind, so it'll be mighty cold then. Another dose of snow, a 60% probability of that on Friday. And as you can see, the extended forecast basically keeps us on the chilly side. Some more news ahead as News Channel 13 continues.
From WNYT, Albany, News Channel 13, live at 6, begins right now.
Truce possible. Israel considers suspending its airstrikes in Gaza if Hamas militants will halt their rocket attacks. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jim Cambrick. While it is possible, the likelihood is not clear at this point. If no ceasefire is agreed upon, an Israeli defense official says they will continue with ground attacks. Since Saturday, Israel has fired more than 250 rockets and mortars. Today, a protest at the state capitol. Beth Wertman was there. She joins us now with our top story. Good evening, Beth.
Good evening, Jim. Protesters from a number of peace groups rallied today, organized by the local Palestinian rights committees. Among the demonstrators, a Jew...
No bombs! No blockade! Stop giving Israel military aid!
Protesters here all want peace in the Middle East, but for Palestinian Zuhar Alatwi, it's personal. He was born in what is now the West Bank, a few hours' drive from Gaza, where Israel is retaliating against Hamas with deadly air attacks.
I want to stop the war, but I want them to solve the problem for the Palestinians.
What do we want? Ceasefire!
At the same rally is Joe Seaman. His parents were Holocaust survivors, and in 1948, his father joined the Israeli army to fight for independence.
He thought that the Palestinians were just like the Jews. They wanted a place of their own. That's all they wanted, and that's all they deserved.
Both men want the United States to put pressure on Israel to stop what they say is a heavy-handed attack on Gaza, killing hundreds of Palestinians in retaliation for mortar rounds from Hamas that killed just a handful of Israelis. Seaman says Americans have a stake because of the aid given to its ally, Israel.
We can go about our days shopping and working and all the things we do, but there are people dying and they're being killed with the assistance of our taxes.
Alatwi, a nuclear medicine technologist at Albany Med, has even sent his wife and children to live in the West Bank so they can understand what he calls the miserable life of the Palestinians. He says Israeli attacks will only lead to more violence.
They haven't stopped Hamas, and this time they're not going to stop Hamas. They're going to strengthen Hamas, I think.
Both men at that rally say the ultimate solution is for two established states for Israel and Palestine. And they believe the United States should play a strong role in bringing the two sides to the negotiating table. Beth Wertman, News Channel 13.
Thank you, Beth. Senator Neil Breslin was sworn in for another term as state senator in the 46th Senate District. He was first elected back in 1996 and most recently served as the ranking Democrat on the Senate Insurance Committee. He says the biggest challenge of the next year is balancing the budget, but says things will be different when Democrats are in control.
There will be a much higher degree of fairness. There will be bills introduced by Republicans and Democrats alike. There will be allocations for staff and allocations for any member items that will be much fairer than has ever happened in the past. And I hope there will be a new degree of collegiality, which will result in legislation that will make this a much better state.
One proposal on the table to help balance the budget is an obesity tax. It would place an 18% sales tax on non-diet soda and other sweetened drinks with less than 70% fruit juice. Governor Patterson says the tax would help raise $400 million. State Health Commissioner Richard Daines supports the tax and made his own YouTube video explaining why it's a good idea. He points out how the obesity rate has increased as more people drink soda instead of milk and water. He says we need to cut soda from our diets.
And instead of spending more, a typical family would actually save $100 because not only are low-fat milk and water better for us than sugary drinks, they're cheaper and there's no tax at all on them. With the money we save, we could buy some new jogging shoes or maybe get back on the bicycle with the kids.
Assemblyman Ron Canestrari, who was sworn in today for another term in office, is opposed to the obesity tax. He says there are better ways to fight obesity and better ways to raise money for the state.
I think it hits at the average New Yorker in a way that we shouldn't be doing it. Yes, it raises revenue, but not in a way that I think is fair to most New Yorkers. I think there are better ways.
Canisteri favors a plan to hike taxes on New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year. That idea did not pass muster with the legislature in the last session. The assemblyman would actually prefer to lower the threshold to raise taxes on anyone who makes more than $700,000 a year. Whatever they do, State Controller Tom DiNapoli says the members of the legislature will have some tough decisions to make next year. Not only will they be dealing with this year's deficit, they'll also be looking at budget problems down the road.
And also there is still an out-year structural imbalance, so although he's done a lot to deal with the coming year, when you look 2, 3, 4 years out, New York still has a budget imbalance that we're going to have to deal with.
DiNapoli says the overall framework of the governor's budget proposal makes sense. He likes the governor's emphasis on spending cuts and the fact that the budget doesn't rely on too many one-shot revenue proposals. Police say a widespread burglary ring was involved in at least 100 crimes in just the last 3 months. This afternoon, they announced the arrests in the case and showed us what they've recovered so far. Kumi Tucker is live in the newsroom with that story. Good evening, Kumi.
Good evening, Jim. This was a complicated case, and investigators gave us an inside look at how all of the pieces came together. Scott Schaefer of Schenectady, Anthony DeFilippo of Rotterdam, and Raymond Wilkins of Schenectady are accused of being part of a burglary ring in Albany, Schenectady, and Saratoga counties. This is what police say they seized at a Schenectady house. Police believe Schaefer was the ringleader, and they say the crimes began almost immediately after he was released from Albany County Jail 3 months ago. Police say they were able to trace stolen goods from an October burglary in Schenectady back to Schaefer, that his fingerprints were found at a crime scene in November. A big break came when they recovered a stolen laptop that they could identify through its serial number. A multi-agency task force worked on this case, combining patrol work, forensics, crime pattern analysis, and debriefing suspects.
This ring was operating to fuel a drug addiction. The proceeds that were taken in these burglaries were turned into several locations, one being 1681 Avenue A, and it was turned in exchange for crack cocaine.
And so the ongoing investigation will also include the fencing of this property.
People who commit these crimes, and we believe the common denominator between all these defendants is that they are drug users. They are looking for a way to turn valuable items into drugs. And there are too many places willing to buy property which is obviously stolen.
Carney says at this point they're trying to figure out where all of that property you just saw came from. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kumi Tucker, News Channel 13.
Thank you, Kumi. A Schenectady man is under arrest tonight after a 3-car accident on 890 yesterday evening. Police say that 56-year-old Rajendra Harprasad was drunk and caused the accident. Police say that his 14-year-old daughter was inside the car at the time. A total of 5 people were hurt. Harprasad has been charged with aggravated DWI and endangering the welfare of a child. State police are investigating an apparent drowning in Kopek in Columbia County. Police found the body of 22-year-old Sinan Sudas of Turkey around 10:30 this morning in Rota Pond. They believe he and 23-year-old Matt Perrin of Arizona went out kayaking around 3 this morning. State police say the two were staff members of Camp Pontiac and were at a birthday party. They say when everyone else went to sleep, the two went kayaking. Neither was wearing a life preserver, and police say both had been drinking. When the 2 kayaks capsized, only 1 man was able to make it to shore.
Extremely bad decision. And we have one person who lost their life and the other who has to deal with the fact that he lost his friend.
No criminal charges are expected. Wind damage to blame for the temporary closure of the North Street Fire Station in Troy. A city engineer determined the building is not safe after parts of the wall fell onto the sidewalk. The city will work with outside contractors to try to figure out when they can get it fixed. Wind may also be the cause of the damage that occurred at the Olander Mattress Building in Schenectady. Police say that large pieces of metal came off the building this afternoon. No one was hurt, but State Street near Erie Boulevard had to be closed as a precaution. Now for a first look at your first warning forecast, here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Kovacic. Bob, some snow on the way?
Yes, indeed, Jim. Later on tonight, probably arriving in the immediate area between about midnight and 3 a.m. Let's take a look at the weather picture for the last 12 hours. And the snow showers have pretty much ended. Still a little thin band of snow showers to the southwest of Albany. But here's what we're tracking. This area of clouds and light snow beginning to expand across the Great Lakes. Will head steadily eastward. Should arrive in the local area sometime between midnight and 3 a.m. and continue to move through the area with the steadiest snow falling during the morning hours on Wednesday. So expect some snow around when you head out in the morning. 21 degrees, sunrise at 7:26. Looks like a 2 to 4 inch snowfall for many places. We'll take a look at the snow map and, of course, the forecast for the brand new year coming up shortly. Jim.
Coming up.
I'm Mark Mulholland in Saratoga Springs, where they're getting ready to send 08 up in flames.
Also, she's already getting calls from colleges. Andrew Catalan introduces us to a cross-country runner who holds records at 2 different schools. And this website looks good, but there's a glaring error right on the front page. We'll tell you what it is.
Commitment. It means a pledge to do something and do it right. At Cooley Mazda, we show that commitment every day, providing the best prices on the best selection of new and certified pre-owned Mazdas.
And remember, Cooley cars cost less.
Cooley Mazda and Cooley Volkswagen, North Greenbush.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. New, used, and bank repo boats and RVs. Up to 40% off retail. The Hudson Valley Community College RV Boat and Recreation Show. It's a buyer's market. Pop-ups $89. Sport trailers $129. Fish boats $159. Bow riders $199. Even motorhomes just $399. Plus ATVs, power watercraft, 90 days no payments, free storage, and register to win a new RV or boat. The Hudson Valley Community College RV Boat and Recreation Show. Through Sunday only. Get early bird savings and make the buy of a lifetime.
Commitment. It means a pledge to do something and do it right. At Cooley, we show that commitment every day, providing the best prices on the best selection of used and certified pre-owned cars.
And remember, Cooley cars cost less.
Cooley Mazda and Cooley Volkswagen, North Greenbush.
YMCA of Saratoga and signature sponsor GE present the Capital Region's best New Year's celebration. First night Saratoga. Go to ymcasaratoga.org for info.
This weekend, come to Coca's clearance event now. Great prices throughout the store. Everything is priced to move. Plus at Coca's, we offer our exclusive 3-year parts and labor protection free. Plus at Coca's, take up to 12 months to pay, interest-free. Coca has GE appliances. GE, known for quality and dependability. Every GE major appliance priced to move now. Great prices. Plus our 3-year parts and labor protection free. Well, the best value. Think Coca.
For the latest ski conditions, watch The Skiing Weatherman, Thursdays at 11 p.m. and Friday between 6 and 7 a.m. Sponsored by Romley, Vermont's Sun Fun Family Mountain.
Hour of Power, Sunday morning at 6:30 on News Channel 13. Rachel at 3, Oprah at 4. Weekdays on News Channel 13. Who needs Google when you've got Jason Goff? Tune in each day when Jason shares his picks for some of the coolest sites on the web. Web Winners, weekdays at 5:30 on News Channel 13.
Preparations are underway tonight for a big New Year's Eve celebration in Saratoga Springs and Glens Falls. Mark Mulholland has our preview.
I invite you now to come with me to share one of those evenings in the Gilded Age of Saratoga Springs.
The Tango Fusion Dance Company rehearses a show they call Dancing Saratogans, one of dozens of performances in music, dance, and art at nearly 40 venues in the Spa City. First night 2009 is dubbed Fire and Ice. And this is where the fire will come from. Mike Belanger is building a 24-foot figure 8, symbolic of 2008, that will be set on fire at around 10 o'clock. That's Mike up on top of his work.
I think, as you mentioned, 2008 is a good thing to burn. Maybe not in celebration, maybe in Thanksgiving.
Saratoga Springs isn't the only New Year's Eve game in town. This year, for the first time ever, Glens Falls will hold a street celebration, complete with fireworks launched from the city's new roundabout. Glens Falls will have music and giveaways, and stores and restaurants will stay open late. Organizers say it'll be different than Saratoga's celebration.
Now we don't have, the same concept that they have with the music in the different venues. We figured we would pull more of a Times Square scenario off on Glen Street.
And Saratoga's not worried about the competition.
Well, I think there's plenty of fun to go around for plenty of people.
The Glens Falls event is free. First night Saratoga requires a $15 button. And of course, it all ends with a bang. fireworks in Congress Park at midnight, but you can't go into the park to watch them. In Saratoga Springs, Mark Mulholland, News Channel 13.
And a reminder that if you have one too many on New Year's Eve, there are various ways to get home safely. After 25 years, Albany County has decided, though, to end its Safe Ride program. Sheriff Jim Campbell says they just can't find enough drivers to keep the program going. But law firm Martin, Harding & Mazzotti will be sponsoring free rides. The number for them, 1-800-LAW-1010. Schenectady County Stop DWI program also offering free rides. They begin at 10 p.m. and end at 5 a.m. The number there, 374-4101. Rensselaer County has a similar program called Safe Ride. It runs from 10 until 4. There are two numbers to call, 271-5139 or 271-5105. Police point out that choosing a designated driver is an even easier option. While many of you are counting down to the new year, we are counting down to the end of analog television. And according to our DTV countdown calendar, we are down to 50 days. After February 17th, you may need a converter box to watch us. If you're not sure, check out our website, WNYT.com. Click on digital television. You can also call toll-free, the number 800-765-0013, or you can write to us at 715 North Pearl Street, Albany, 12204. If you live in Troy and hear gunfire between 10 and midnight tonight, don't worry. It's only a test. The police department is testing out its new shot spotter system. As we told you months ago, the technology allows the police to pinpoint where a gun is fired so they have a better chance finding the suspect quickly. Tonight's test will be done with live ammo at various locations throughout the city. We have some snow heading our way. Chief Meteorologist Bob Kovacic returns with your first warning forecast in just a few moments. But first, the latest news from Wall Street tonight, where an auto industry bailout bolstered hopes for traders. The News Channel 13 Bloomberg Index of 60 local stocks, that closed up 5.5 points today. The Dow was up 184 and NASDAQ gained 40.
Happy Honda Days from Carbone Honda and Toyota of Bennington. And this holiday season, treat yourself to a lease on a Honda CR-V for just $199 a month. So take the short drive to Bennington at Carbone Honda Toyota of Bennington. Nice people to do business with.
When I got hurt, the insurance company said they'd settle fast. I should have called Finkelstein and Partners, but I didn't. Now the money's all gone. I still can't work. My wife is working 2 jobs, and we can't make ends meet.
Don't let this happen to you. Call Finkelstein and Partners. For years, our attorneys, investigators, and support staff have given our clients the power and technology other firms don't have, and there's no legal fee unless we win. Call 1-800-LAW-AM-PM. It could be the most important call you'll ever make.
Catamount, the best and most diverse trail network in the Berkshires. Travel less for more at Catamount.
Go to SaveOnSkiing.com today. Get 2 lift tickets for the price of 1 from great resorts around the country. Skiing or snowboarding, don't hit the slopes without going to SaveOnSkiing.com.
Hi, this is Dick Wood, wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. From the staff and management of Quick Response, happy holidays to all.
Season's greetings from Carbone Honda and Toyota of Bennington. This holiday season, I'd like to introduce Toyota's latest version of a crossover vehicle, the Toyota Venza. So take the short drive to Bennington to Carbone Honda Toyota of Bennington. Nice people to do business with.
In the old days, this is how people would communicate. But these days, it's a lot easier to find out what's going on. Just head to WNYT.com. The latest local news, Bob Kovacic's first warning forecast, in-depth stories you won't see anywhere else. Wherever you are, whenever you want. It's just a click away at WNYT.com. Now, your first warning weather with meteorologist Bob Kovacic.
Our home for the holiday tonight comes to us from the Crom family on Forts Ferry Road in Latham. Hard to miss it driving by there with the Ferris wheel and all the lights. Nice decorations there. We'll feature a different home every night, 6 and 11, until the end of the year, which means one more night. All right, let's talk about our weather. And what's heading our way is some snow coming into the area, arriving between about midnight and 3 a.m. for most spots. Some steady morning snow will wind down pretty quickly, but still some lingering light snow or flurries likely in some parts of the area tomorrow afternoon. And windy, very cold weather New Year's Eve night and on into New Year's Day as well. Winter storm radar, there's the dusting of snow that came by from many parts of the area early this morning, or even in some cases late last night. A few spots got a half an inch to an inch. Dry right now. Here's the next batch of snow coming from that Alberta clipper that's scooting across Iowa and Illinois right now. That snow will expand pretty quickly riding into our area, as I said, sometime between about midnight and 3 a.m. And most of us should see at least some steady light snow here when you head out to early in the day tomorrow. Still a little bit of very light flurries left over tonight, but that's dying out west-southwest of Albany in the hills of Schoharie County back to the Mohawk Valley. The main body of snow, as you can see, is basically concentrated now over the Great Lakes from Wisconsin through Michigan into parts of Lake Huron down toward the Lake Erie area. Fast-moving storm we term an Alberta clipper because it originates generally in western or southwestern Canada. Not a lot of moisture with it, but the track out to our south across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Long Island will put us in the favorable zone for a couple, maybe as much as 2 to 4 inches in our area, with perhaps as much as 3 to 6 inches south of Albany in the Capital District into the Catskills and Berkshire. So we'll track the snow heading on in, certainly knocking on the door. I think this computer model's a bit slow, so I think most of us will see some light snow by 3 a.m. Through the morning, there's the band of steadiest, heaviest snow, lighter snow to the north. That will shift on away, even though probably by late afternoon, there'll be some spotty, spitty, light snow left over to head on out into the New Year's evening hours tomorrow night. So the way we see it, 2 to 4 inches of snow in much of the area, generally the eastern Mohawk Valley, Schoharie Valley, Schoharie Hills as well, Tri-Cities into southern Vermont, the northern Berkshires, a bit higher amounts, southern Berkshires, portions of Columbia, Green, the eastern Catskills, and a little bit less snow as you head on to the north. On a nuisance meter does not mean me. I know I'm a nuisance sometimes, but not today. Not a big one, about a 2. What was that cough, Mr. Cambrick?
I just had a little tickle in the back of my throat.
I'm not a nuisance around here. About a 2 on the nuisance meter. And there's your weather for tomorrow night on New Year's Eve. Windy and cold, bundle up. Certainly there'll be some of that snow blowing around. Temperatures in the teens, wind chill will drop below 0 as we head through tomorrow night. Snow developing after midnight tonight. Clouds roll in 18. Snow tomorrow morning steady, dying down later. Breezy cold. Dry, bitter cold. 18.5 on Thursday, New Year's Day. A little more snow comes in on Friday. We'll update everything tonight for you at 11, Jim.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, sir. Matt is up next with sports. Plenty of college basketball
and
tonight.
We should have some good games tonight. UAlbany, Siena, and Syracuse on the hardwood tonight. A former UAlbany football star is getting ready for the NFL postseason. And just one day after getting canned, could an opening in Cleveland be the plans for former Jets coach Eric Mangini? It's all coming up next on Big Board Sports.
Homes for the Holidays on News Channel 13 is sponsored by Fidelis Care and Residential Specialists.
At Belmonte Builders, we pride ourselves in building homes as individual as you are. We're happy to start with your plans or ours and customize a home to your specific needs and lifestyle. Whatever your desire, will turn your dreams into reality. Our homes use premium Trex decking from Curtis Lumber. Trex is a low-maintenance composite decking with colors and grain options of natural wood with no staining or sealing required. So come visit us at one of our model homes, and together we'll design a home as individual as you are.
The biggest event of the year is now even bigger. The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is here, and we're going above and beyond to bring you the deal of all deals on your favorite Toyotas. Come in now and get a new 2008 Toyota Tundra with 0% financing, or get an amazing $3,000 cash back. It's your last chance of the year to get amazing deals, so hurry to the Toyotathon of Toyotathons today.
We're in a tough economy right now. You may think it's a bad time to buy a car, but there are a lot of very good reasons why this is a great time to consider purchasing a vehicle. How much do you spend on gas? The price has gone down, but who knows what the future holds? Hybrids and other technology have made today's cars far more fuel efficient than ever before, saving you money and saving the environment. It really is a buyer's market right now. Use your head and don't be afraid. The deals are out there. You auto buy now.
Now, Big Board Sports.
Good evening, everyone. A tall order for the UAlbany men's basketball team. The Danes squaring off against one of college basketball's greatest programs. UAlbany taking on the Kansas Jayhawks tonight. It will be the largest crowd to watch the Danes this year. More than 16,000 fans will fill up Fog Allen Fieldhouse. It also marks the first time UAlbany will go up against the defending national champion. Siena also on the road tonight. The Saints making the trip out the Mass Turnpike to face Holy Cross in Worcester. Last year at the Times Union Center, Siena got 29 points from Edwin Ubilis, but needed overtime to knock off the Crusaders. Big East home opener tonight at the Carrier Dome for Syracuse when the Orange square off against Seton. They'll be doing so with guard Eric Devendorf. Devendorf is back after missing 2 games and serving 40 hours of community service. He was suspended for allegedly hitting a female student. Well, it didn't take long for the New York Jets to set their sights on a new coach. The Associated Press is reporting former Steelers coach Bill Cowher and the Jets will meet to talk about the opening. Now, a source tells the AP that Cowher, who won a Super Bowl with Pittsburgh and is now a studio analyst for CBS, is interested in the job. The Cleveland Browns are also moving fast, and their plans could include freshly fired New York Jets coach Eric Mangini. The Browns have scheduled an interview with Mangini. The 37-year-old has ties to the area. He began his NFL career as a public relations assistant with the Browns back in 1994. And congratulations to former UAlbany and Hudson High football star Rashad Barksdale. The Giants signed the cornerback off the practice squad and placed him on the active roster for the postseason. Time now to meet our Dunkin' Donuts High School Player of the Week. Many colleges are recruiting Gina Cristaldi to run cross country next year. As Andrew Kettleon tells us, the Broad Albin Perth senior has all the tools to be successful as long as she can keep singing.
My favorite is Tom Petty, I Won't Back Down.
Gina Cristaldi sings to herself during cross-country races. Forget strategy, Gina's rocking out to Tom Petty.
That's the first I've ever heard that she does that, so we have something to talk about because definitely I think there's some more strategy involved, and I hope that other things are going through her head other than that, but if it works for her, it works for her. So
maybe more people should sing Petty's songs. You see, back in the spring, Gina had 3 stress fractures in her foot, but after intense rehab, Gina's season culminated with a 12th place finish in the state tournament.
In the beginning of the season, my first 2 races were JV races, so it was nice to go from that, and then I just kept progressing, I guess, all season, and I never thought I'd do that well at states.
Gina owns multiple school records here at Broad Albin Perth, but she also owns school records at Hudson Falls. You see, Gina transferred here after her sophomore year, so she has the unique distinction of owning school records at 2 different schools.
She's got 9th grade, 10th grade records, but they didn't end there. She also came here and got as a senior as well, so I think when she goes on to college, she's going to do amazing things there.
In her free time, Gina sings Christmas carols at senior citizen centers.
Yes, even though I don't have a great voice, it's just fun because the older people don't really care.
She may try to mix in some Tom Petty. At Broad Albin Perth High School, Andrew Kettleon, News Channel 13.
Dunkin' Donuts will donate $500 to the Broad Albin Perth Athletic Fund. Send us your nominations to sports at WNYT.com.
As long as the music works for her, why not?
Keep on singing.
She's got the hardware to prove it. Thanks, Matt. Well, with web traffic so high, it's not surprising that mistakes are found now and again, but a gaffe that we found made on a Wisconsin state website has some people shaking their heads in disbelief, and we'll show it to you right after the break.
When you need an oil change or engine replacement, when you need a repair or performance work, when you need a tow or a jump, when you need to trust the person who works on your car or truck, you need Fitzgerald Automotive. Professional and friendly service. Family owned. Work done right, done fast. Keeping your vehicle running and saving you money. With 24-hour towing, you're never left out in the cold. When you need us, we will be there for you and your car. Fitzgerald Automotive, when you want your vehicle fixed right.
The Toyotathon of Toyotathons is on. It's your last chance of the year to get amazing deals now at your Toyota dealer.
This weekend, come to Coca's clearance event now. Great prices throughout the store. Everything is priced to move. Plus at Coca's, we offer our exclusive 3-year parts and labor protection free. Plus at Coca's, take up to 12 months to pay, interest-free. Coca has GE appliances. GE, known for quality and dependability. Every GE major appliance priced to move now. Great prices. Plus our 3-year parts and labor protection free. Well, the best value. Think Coca.
Notice how digital's made pretty much everything better, especially television. Digital TV's got better picture, better sound, more channels. In fact, digital's so much better that by law, all broadcast TV has to be digital by 2009. But there's a catch. Some TVs need an upgrade to get digital. You could even lose your signal. Get the facts. Visit dtvanswers.com to learn about television switch to digital. Or call this number to see how you can stay connected.
Looking for ways to save money on your energy bill? Go to the WNYT.com weather page and click on the New York Energy Smart logo and save.
Finally tonight, a slight problem on a new campaign finance website run by the state of Wisconsin. It features the state's Capitol building in front of a city skyline. Problem is, the skyline's not Madison, Wisconsin. It's actually from Minneapolis, Minnesota. The website's creator says they are trying to find a picture of Madison and just use the Minneapolis photo in the meantime. The state is asking the company to correct the problem as quickly as possible. That's it for now. NBC Nightly News is next. We'll be back at 11, and we're always online at WNYT.com. Have a good evening.
Now is the time to visit the Cable Rug Factory Store at Huck Finn's Warehouse and more. Thousands of area rugs from casual braids to hand-tufted wools. The Cable Store has just received its best buy yet on 100% wool hand-tufted rugs. The famous Biltmore collection in 5x8 or 8x11 size at savings up to 50% off and more. 100% New Zealand wool rugs in classic decorator colors at prices you'll never see again. America's largest rug manufacturer, Cable Rugs, only at Huck Finn's Warehouse and more.
Not just rugs, they're Cable Rugs.